All right, here we go. Welcome this week. I'm going to keep this short and sweet, but welcome to our Wednesday webinar. Looking forward to having everybody on the call today. We're going to go ahead and try to stream this. So hopefully we are going live and everyone can see it. So a couple housekeeping notes for Bank Card Life members. Don't forget, we are shutting down the workplace community and moving over to the Facebook community, the Facebook private Bank Card Life member group. So if you're not in that group, please request to join it and we will get you in there. I'm going to be posting all the replays, all the content in that group, and then your back-end training portal, all that will stay the same, your logins, all the archived content, archived interviews, all that will be there and saved for you. So I'm doing a really exciting webinar tomorrow with Mauro Staria. If you'd like to attend, we're going to be talking about creating energy and power in your life and talking to the topic of testosterone levels and hormone levels. So it's a very, very important thing if you're male, and as you get older, you'll see that those energy levels tend to drop. Sleep could drop, focus could drop. So it's important that you keep those hormone levels balanced. And Mauro interviewed me last year. He's located in Spain or Italy. I can't remember which country, but he's got a lot of great feedback, a lot of great learning for us men that are dealing with this or that might not know you're dealing with it on how to increase those levels and balance them out naturally. So I think you're going to enjoy that webinar. It's tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central. It's posted on our social media. Go ahead and click the link and join. If you can't make it, register and you will get the replay. So today I want to talk about probably the most important thing that has helped me really produce in my professional life and also in my personal life. And, we talked in the last session about creating your system, right? Your weekly system, your daily system for production. I shared with you what I do and what I use on a daily basis to come in and set those priority tasks around those items that you want to focus on for the week that are in alignment with your monthly and your quarterly targets. But all of that really comes back to being able to create in yourself the ability to take actions each and every day and each and every morning. So that's why a morning routine is really, really critical, at least for me in my production in my life, in order to be successful in every area. So that weekly system looked like our weekly review. We scored it, we reviewed it. You set your weekly target. We ask ourselves some questions that we can reflect on and determine what's most important for us this week. We schedule those tasks. We time block on our calendar. We do deep work. We don't multitask because that's just an illusion. Years ago, it was all about multitasking, but now it's about focus and staying on task and on point for the week. And then we fill the rest of the week in with those hit list items or those hot list items that I talked about and showed you last week. So if you didn't catch that webinar, go back and please watch that. And remember, we sweat more in practice, so we bleed less in war. So this is all about doing the work that you need to do in order to come up with a system that works for you. What I do may not necessarily work for you. We're all built differently. We all have different wiring in our brains. We have different bodies. We have different energy levels, different systems of the way our bodies run, different times of the day where we perform better or worse. So you need to develop something for you. But what I've found that works for me is at some point in the morning, whether it's at 5 a.m. for you or 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., whatever your day looks like, you're taking and developing and acting on that morning routine. And we've heard it said a lot of different ways, right? We've heard Tony Robbins call it the power hour. We've heard people like Robin Sharman, wrote the 5 a.m. club, call it the holy hour, the sacred silence. Hal Elrod has a great book about miracle morning. So there's lots of content out there that you can read about it and realizing why it's so important for you in order to really set you up for the day to produce at a higher level the rest of the day. So morning routines are great because they really reduce your cortisol levels. You wake right up, you're not producing that stress hormone. And, cortisone and lower levels of cortisone means less inflammation, lower blood pressure, overall feeling of wellness. Your dopamine rises, which is your pleasure sensor, which really creates an environment where you want to learn and affects your motivation. Your serotonin rises, your moods are better, your anxiety is reduced. And of course, if you're dealing or struggling with potential depression, it really helps you in that area as well. So your brain is really at its most powerful first thing in the morning, right when you wake up. So you don't want to be pulling up your cell phone and checking your email and doing all that stuff, all that stress inducing things first thing in the morning. And we're really trying to create a routine where you can purposely practice, right? Where you're deliberate, you're focused, you know exactly what your routine is. You can kind of adjust it over time and play with it, but it's a well defined routine that we are creating and turning into a habit. And I talk a lot about habits, right? So we want to create that habit, but it's not just a habit. We're purposeful about practicing this routine in the mornings. And that can be a challenge over time, right? Being purposeful instead of checking the boxes and just going through the motions. And the real purpose of this morning routine, at least for me, is that I want to be able to access power. I want to be able to access direction, spiritual direction, connection. I want to be able to get my blinders on so I know what I'm focused on today. And I need to have the energy, the motivation, the mindset to go out and produce those desired results. And when I have that, I access that power. But if I don't have directed power, it creates chaos in your life. And we've all seen people like that, right? They have a million things to do, they have lots of busy work, they're running around all over the place, but they're really not getting anything done. They're creating chaos in their lives and they're creating chaos in other people's lives. So you want to access the power, but you want to also direct that power that's going to really pay off and create the results in your life that you want to create. And when I do my morning routine, I try to hit at least something in each component: body, being, balance, and business, right? And I'm going to share what I do here in a moment in most mornings. And we want to weaponize ourselves for that day so we create and access that power. We are getting our body ready because we can weaponize ourselves physically. We're getting our spirit ready so we're in alignment with our true purpose and nature. So we're weaponizing our spirit. We're checking in on our relationships, making sure all those are in order. And then we're really ready to go to war and create some things in our business life. And this is really just an ongoing process. This is something, I've been doing for, I don't know how long, 30, 40 years. Uh, in the beginning, more off than on, in the last probably decade or so, very, very, very consistently, because I do it consistently because I get a result from it, right? And I get a feeling that it works for me. And I know, and I can look at the accounting in my life, looking back at the results, and I can see that a lot of my results stem out of creating power in the mornings for myself and really getting myself up here, getting myself right, and getting my mindset right so I can go out and approach the day with vigor. So it never ends. It's a process. It's all based on our decisions, right? We're either going to decide in the morning to create power or not. We're going to live in the problem or we're going to live in the solution. So it's very, very important that you come up and create something, a blueprint for your mornings. If you're new to this, uh, come up with just something short, right? So determine what your time commitment is. You might have a normal morning routine, and then when I traveled a lot, I'd usually have maybe a little bit of an abbreviated morning routine depending on what my schedule looked like. But determine what your time commitment is for your routine. And if you're new to it, don't create a 2-hour morning routine. If you're new, just take 5, 10, 15 minutes. Start like James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits, right? We take little micro commitments, micro habits that we're creating, And we're building upon those micro commitments each and every day. So start with 10 or 15 minutes. Start to get yourself in the habit of acting and creating and doing this morning routine. So you want to remove your distractions. Do not get the phone out unless you have an app or you're meditating on the phone or doing something else on the phone, but no calls, no emails. We don't want to get in a place of distraction right off the bat. It's good to have a sacred space or place where you do your morning routine in the same spot every day. It creates familiarity with your body and your mind. You want to think through the night before. If you're going through before bed how your day went, inventorying your day, and then prepping yourself for, hey, what am I going to do tomorrow? What do I have to do tomorrow? What am I going to do the first thing that I wake up in the morning? I'm going to do my morning routine, right? My morning ritual. And if you have to get up earlier, get up a little earlier. Nobody ever died of lack of sleep. So get up 15 minutes earlier, 30 minutes earlier. If you've got little kids, you get up before the kids, right? Or maybe if your routine is you get the kids to school, you do your routine after that if you have to. But I would suggest you try to get it done before anything happens around the home. And then get your body moving first really works for me. So I do a stretch first thing in the morning after I drink some water. I'll stretch out, get my body moving, and then I'll go into my routine. And you can certainly track this on many, many different habit trackers. I use a app called Strides that works really well for me, but there's a lot of different habit trackers. You have your Bank Card Life Planner you can track it on, a simple Google spreadsheet, or you can have a habit tracker that might give you an alert or an alarm. And we want to focus on those four dimensions of body, being, balance, and business. So I'm going to share my routine. I don't want to go too long today. I want to keep these Wednesday webinars short, but this is typically what my morning looks like. Might look intimidating to a lot of you, might look like, hey, I do a lot more than that. It doesn't really matter what you do or how long you're taking. What matters is, does this work for you, right? Does it work for you? And I've got it down pretty good. And I typically am done 45 to 60 minutes each morning, and I'm out the door ready to go. So I'll normally take a big drink of water. I have it sitting by my nightstand. The first thing I do is drink that. I'll stretch. I'll either do a stretch and core, or I'll do my core at lunch a lot of times, or later in the day. So it just depends, but I do like to do core 3 to 5 days a week. It really helps you stay balanced, keeps your inner body strong, and helps me with my tennis game, which is really, really important. I don't do my workouts in the morning. I do them later in the day. You might be a morning person. I always loved working out in the morning. I really felt great when I did it, but my workouts are 45 minutes plus, and I don't have time to do all this on top of doing a workout before I want to get in the office. So I'll typically do the stretch in the morning, maybe light yoga, push ups, something like that, get my body going, my core, and do my workout later in the day. I'll do my Bible study very first thing. I do that every single day when I don't miss it. I think last year I missed it like 3 days out of the whole year, so I was in it 362 days. I do something called Wim Hof breath work. That's the next step after that study. I'll do 3 to 4 rounds of breath work. A lot of the military are doing breath work now, box breathing, there's holotropic breathing, there's HRV breathing. It's very, very popular right now. For me, I have found this has been transformational. Actually, my wife and I are going to Spain next year to attend one of his retreats. I've been doing it probably now for about 3 years or so, but really have found for me, a really, really great practice that gets me in the right state and reduces my stress. And during that breath work, there's a period where you hold your breath and you're breathing, and I do my affirmations and my other prayer work and some things there. After the breath work, I'm right in a state where I'm ready to go into meditation. I do a very, very short meditation in the morning. I'll typically do another one at lunch or before bed with my wife. So I'll hit that 2 or 3 times a day. Then there's some journaling, set my intention, thoughts for the day. I'm done in my area where I do my routine. I'll get up and then do my green smoothie, my drink. I might text the kids, check in on the kids, grandkids, send videos to them. That's kind of like my balance check-in. Business, a lot of times I will listen to a podcast, I'll watch a YouTube video, or I will read. That's my business learning for the morning. I'll normally get ready for the office, then hit a cold shower several days a week. That's part of the Wim Hof training. Um, and while I'm driving to work, I'm a big Audible. So I'll always listen to typically an audiobook on the way into the office that I'm working on. And then I've got a book summary program that condenses books. A lot of times I'll listen to a condensed version of a book. If I like what I hear, I'll go and read or listen to the entire book. So that's kind of like the morning. It all comes together very nicely. A couple times a week, my routine might include intermittent fasting. And then I will get to the office and I'll sit down and re-review my targets, my hit items, my hot items, what I'm doing for the day, along with my calendar and what times I have time blocked out for the day for content creation or for work. So that's my morning routine. So I would suggest that you sit down and frame up something for yourself that works for you based on the time commitment, and really make a commitment to try this for, I would say, at least 30 days each and every day. And I do this 7 days a week. So there's not really weekends. I might go a little longer on some items, uh, but I do it 7 days a week, every single day, without missing a day for quite some time. I don't know how long it's been, but it really, really gets me set up the right way for the day. Then at lunch, I've got some things I'll do. I might meditate, do an energy meditation, could do some more breath work, maybe working out, some little core, something here in the office, do some more business reading or learning. Right now, I'm focusing a lot on marketing. And then the whole day is free from there on. I finish up work in the evening. The only things I do in the evening are I'll meditate prior to bed. That has really helped my sleep, really helped us relax before bed, release stress, get some really, really good sleep. And that meditation can be 10 to 20 minutes, depends on how long we want to do it. It's more of a body relaxation meditation. Then I try not to be on my phone after 8 o'clock, or eating anything after 8 o'clock, especially if I'm fasting. I'll have an 8 hour eating window those couple days a week. So that's my morning routine. It changes over time. I play with it, I adjust it. Start to set something up for yourself. I feel happy to share it in the group, but start to put a morning routine together for yourself. Make sure you keep yourself accountable, make sure you track it, and then adjust from there. So it might take you a couple quarters to really come up with something that works really, really well for you. But that's your opportunity to create real power in your day, to get focused, get your mind right, and really sit down and decide how you're going to show up for the day. And, the days that I've missed it, and like I said, it has been a while, but I could tell that I was off for that day, right? I wasn't centered and I wasn't present. So it really helps me get my day started right. So I hope this helped you. I hope you create something powerful in your life. I hope to see you tomorrow on the 10 o'clock webinar, and we will see you next every other week. We're doing the training. So we'll see you in 2 weeks, and we'll talk about another great, great topic. So have a great day.